Hey, what is up my friends out there? My name is Jakejames Lugo and welcome to the channel. Now as you guys know, for 2019 I've started to post up more videos related to gaming books here on the channel. I love looking at different types of gaming coffee table books and I love just sharing my thoughts and opinions about them and sharing all the information about some of the great ones with you guys out there that watch these videos. And since I've really started looking at all different types of gaming books, there's a few that I've really wanted to look at for quite some time, and now finally I have the means to do so. If you're a big Final Fantasy fan like I am, again, I've played many of the different Final Fantasy games, both the mainline and the spin-offs, this is the type of book that you're going to want to know about. Let's finally talk about the Final Fantasy Ultimania Volume 1. Now this book here covers Final Fantasies 1 through 6 with no spin-off titles in between. It really covers all the different types of artwork, the development process, and all the great story and relationships between the characters of the first 6 mainline Final Fantasy games. Now the first thing that I noticed, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to notice when you look at this book as well, is that the artwork included in this book is absolutely fantastic. The Amano artwork, which is all the original character designs for some of the earlier classic Final Fantasy titles, just looks fantastic even by today's standards. I understand that artwork is very subjective, but if you just take one look at some of this artwork for some of the different characters and all the different types of monsters that are included within those first 6 games, you're going to be wowed just as much as I was. Outside of the artwork that's included in this book, because there's plenty of art books out there for all different types of video games, what is it about the Final Fantasy Ultimania that really makes it stand out compared to other gaming books that you could buy on the shelves? Well, if I'm being honest with you, it's really the stuff about the games themselves, between the character relationships, some of the different types of important details related to the stories, and all these other little kind of neat goodies and trivia that you can discover throughout all the pages of this book, I feel like are what really makes this book specifically, especially Volume 1, a must-own for Final Fantasy fans. Now, I do have to say that if you've never played any of these Final Fantasy games, or if you only played a couple here and there is going to be massive spoilers in this book, so proceed with caution if you don't want any of the stories of these games to be spoiled. Granted, these games have been out for a very long time. But even if you've never really dived into any of these games before, if you never played any of the re-releases and stuff like that, and you just want a kind of good overview of some of these games and just what makes them special to other people, this is a great book to really give you a lot of information to really entice you about the entire series. Granted, this is only focusing on the first 6 games from the NES and the Famicom all the way through to the SNES and the Super Famicom, but still, there's a lot of information that's packed into this book related to all 6 Final Fantasy games from that era. Another thing I should mention too, which I think is really cool, is that there's a lot of quotes and developer interviews from different team members at Square Enix that have worked on a variety of these games, some of which have even worked on some of the more modern Final Fantasy titles. My absolute favorite aspect, besides the artwork that's included here, is the different types of memorable moments that they kind of highlight for every single Final Fantasy game that's featured in Volume 1. If you never knew all the different stuff that happens in Final Fantasy IV, which is probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, or Final Fantasy V, which never came here to the States for a long time, there's all these different little key bullet points that you can look at, and even though they are spoilerish, they do give you some insight of why those games were so important at the time of their release. For a lot of people that love Final Fantasy VI, this book has a lot of great stuff that you're gonna really appreciate. Between the artwork, between the character details, between all the memorable moments, between all the monster details, and some of the other interesting aspects about that game, all of that is featured in this book. And I've yet to see any other Final Fantasy book really highlight some of the cool stuff that this book puts at the forefront. So without question, I have to recommend the Final Fantasy Ultimania Volume 1. This is definitely a Moogle man's choice if you're a big Final Fantasy fan. I have to stress again that a lot of the contents of this book is very spoilerish, especially for people that don't want to play these games with anything spoiled for them, especially story point details. But if you just want something that's a good supplement to you playing the games, or if you played any of these games before and you want to kind of, continue your love of this actual series, this is a great book to own and a massively awesome addition to anybody's collection. That being said, that's my thoughts on the Final Fantasy Ultimania Volume 1. Again, I think it's a great book, a must-own for Final Fantasy fans, and a really cool gaming-related coffee table book that I feel like anybody would really love going through once in a while. After looking through this book, I'm really excited to look through Volume 2. I actually just got it not too long ago, and I can't wait to kind of dive into that and tell you guys a little bit more about that volume, and of course, obviously, Volume 3, which comes out later in 2019. If you picked up this book or any of the other books that I've reviewed, or any other cool gaming books that you guys want to recommend to me to actually take a look at, put it in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have actually explored, or if any other cool suggestions that you guys could recommend to me that I could feature here on the channel. And of course, don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for all my videos just like this one, my gaming reviews, my gaming vlogs, my podcast talk show, a whole bunch of great stuff is right here on the channel for you guys right now. And also, big shout out to Jasmine Russell for supporting me at the Beast tier level on my Patreon page. You're getting shout outs for the entire month on every single video. If you guys want that same type of love, check the description box down below for my Patreon page. Pledge at any of the levels on there. There's a bunch of exclusive content for you to enjoy. Hopefully you guys could check it out and consider pledging on my Patreon page. And don't forget guys, I have a Discord channel that you guys can check out. Look in the description box down below for a link that goes directly to my Discord channel. It's an awesome community that I highly recommend that you guys check out. We have a whole bunch of gaming discussions, memes, we share artwork, and a whole bunch of other great stuff that I know you guys will get a real kick out of. If you want to join up with that awesome community and you just love gaming communities in general, consider joining up with my Discord channel. Links in the description box down below. That being said, I will talk to all of you guys again very soon. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.